So, when Eternals came out, it was met with disappointment, largely because none of these characters had any development. This reminds me of another Marvel team-up movie, Guardians of the Galaxy. So why is Guardians considered one of the best Marvel movies, while Eternals is one of the worst? So why the double standard? Hello everybody, and welcome back. Today we're going to take a look at two Marvel movies. One everybody adores, Guardians of the Galaxy, and another that everybody despises, Eternals. And also be sure to go to the comment section for the question of the day. Do you prefer the Avengers or Guardians of the Galaxy?
Everyone got their pizzas. Good job. Keep it up and there will always be work for you.
If you're happy, I'm happy.
Let's start by talking about Guardians of the Galaxy and why that movie works. One of the biggest reasons is that they aren't just becoming a team, they are creating a family. It also benefits from a much smaller group of 5 characters, allowing their bonds to feel more natural and exist outside of being a team. In contrast, Eternals tries to introduce and develop 10 characters, neglecting their connections. If they could have just focused on a few characters and then let the team expand in the sequels, this movie may have been better. The Guardians characters are also much simpler, with each of them needing only a few scenes to start caring for one another, allowing for more time to focus on them all coming together rather than relying on multiple flashbacks to explain their bond. Guardians also has a much more impactful effect on the greater Marvel Universe, with how it introduces important elements and characters that will go on to play big roles in Avengers Endgame. While the Eternals says it's important, even saying they will return, but end up being a forgotten chapter. This is the key difference. Eternals prioritizes building the greater MCU world first, forces the characters and story into that framework, while Guardians does the opposite, building the characters and story first, then naturally weaving it into the greater MCU. The Guardians story has lower stakes, with the team only concerned with saving Xandar, the planet we have come to love. This story may feel unimportant, but makes the big payoff in Avengers Endgame even more satisfying. This movie is also very funny, using humor to let the plot breathe before it rips your heart out or makes you think. The MCU is massive, but we understand it because every standalone movie in the Infinity Saga provided a new piece to the puzzle. Before we go on to talking about Eternals, here's just another reminder to go to the description to check out the question of the day. Which do you prefer, the Avengers or Guardians of the Galaxy? One of the biggest problems Eternals faces is how it introduces its larger cast. Unlike Guardians or Avengers, where all the characters come together early, allowing for equal development, Eternals stretches this process out through the whole movie, making some important characters underdeveloped and less impactful. Phastos, for example, has a compelling arc about losing faith in humanity, But because he joins the crew so late, his journey feels underwhelming. Meanwhile, Kingo, who doesn't undergo much growth, is one of the first to be joined, making his role feel overwhelming. In the end, all the characters fall away with no standouts, leaving the audience feeling disconnected. Eternals is also missing a main character, like Star-Lord, to ground the movie and to lead the plot in a specific direction. Icarus has the potential to be a great main character. However, they instead chose Cersei to lead this movie. She feels like the creators couldn't decide on what her arc should be. We are introduced to her as she's moving on from her relationship with Icarus, with her new boyfriend Dane. However, when she meets Arishem later, her story suddenly takes an abrupt turn, making her story about leadership. This makes her character feel very unfocused. With the story's grand scale, it can't afford its protagonists starting their development halfway through, only for the ending to undo the twist, making her character turn feel very unearned and leaves us feeling like we haven't truly gone on a journey. The Eternals flashbacks grind the movie's pacing while repeating information we already know, while adding little importance to the main narrative. They feel out of place, interrupting the story with random, disconnected moments. One minute we're in ancient Babylon, watching two people fall in love, and in the next one we are in Aztec time, watching the Spanish invasion, with the Eternals breaking up. A more effective approach might have been to frame this story similar to Captain America, the First Avenger, with the whole story taking place in the past, with the current day stuff saved for a sequel. This also could have made the Cersei and Icarus love story work so much better, as we could have seen their love story play out entirely, making for a bigger impact in the sequels. Eternals feels less like a movie. Eternals feels less like a movie and more like a lecture on deviants and celestials. While people like me, who are hardcore Marvel fans, will find these elements fascinating. They come at the cost of alienating viewers who are just looking for an engaging story. Spending so much time expanding the world that it overshadows everything else, making it hard for a casual fan to get involved. While I will always have some respect for Eternals, for what it added to the MCU, it also unfortunately embodies everything people don't like with Marvel nowadays. The lack of character development and overly complex story left many fans disappointed. However, just like how Star Wars: The Clone Wars saved the prequels by taking these underdeveloped plot lines and characters and giving them depth, maybe one day Marvel could revisit the Eternals, and with a proper story with character development. But until then, this movie will always be the forgotten chapter that is more concerned with the world building and forgets to tell a compelling story. That's all for now, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and of course stay tuned for more videos coming soon, while also checking out the description for the question of the day. What do you prefer? The Avengers or Guardians of the Galaxy? and stay tuned for more videos coming soon. Please like and subscribe.